right, thank you very much for staying tuned. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM. This is the Flow of God's Own State Monday edition. Now let's talk about Abia. We've talked politics, but now let's talk governance. But this time around, the education sector. Schools are to resume today. I saw some private schools, anyways, this morning on my way to the office. Some of their students and pupils on their way to school, and some of them complying with the COVID-19 protocols, putting on their face mask and of course the shield. Now, but there is a situation on ground talking about the secondary and the primary schools in the state, and the government over the weekend called on the teachers in the state, I'm talking about Abia State, to return to classrooms, of course, because they are meant to resume officially today. And the government called on the members of the state chapter of the Nigeria Union of Teachers to avoid being used by political detractors and return to class immediately. We have the Honorable Commissioner for Information joining us this morning, Chief John Okiyekalu. Honorable Commissioner, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael. Good morning, wonderful people of Abia.
Welcome to the platform.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about what is happening in the state. What is the problem between the government and the teachers? This is not the first time we're hearing about the teachers saying, well, we are not going back to classrooms, but the government will come out, we paid you, we know we are owing you arrears, but the little you've received, go back to the classroom. So what is the present situation, and why are they saying we are not going back to the classroom?
Thank you very much. Let me start by lending a voice to Maze Samo Huabunwa to say that Abians are sufficient, Nigerians and Ndigbo, in fact, Ndigbo in particular, they are sufficiently united to demand for the presidency. There is no segment of this country that had the presidency with 100% unity amongst the people. So I want to say that the argument on unity is neither here nor there. It's balderdash, to say the least. Having said that, let me again point out that Abia State government, we are proud of our teachers. These teachers are probably the most hardworking in the country, at least their output says so. Back to back for 4 years, they came first in West African School Certificate Examination. That's their students, because you measure teachers by their output. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm getting.
So now we are proud of them. We are also proud of our effort as a government. By the time we came on board, school enrollment was at about 150,000. That is public school enrollment. Today is over 650,000. That's because of a combination of variables. First, we had the school feeding program that was first launched in Abia State before the federal government took over part of it. And then our focused effort on reinventing school infrastructure. More than 468 brand new classroom blocks constructed by the Ikpeazu administration. And 4 brand new model schools put in place by this administration. As an administration, we've also retrained teachers using Australia and India education service providers. We continue to prioritize the welfare of Abia school children, because education is a major pillar for this administration. So for us, we want to do as much as possible for our school children and for their teachers. Michael, this might surprise you. Contrary to the noise we hear, primary school teachers, junior secondary school teachers have been paid up to November 2020, meaning there is only 1 month outstanding.
So they have only 1 month arrears.
Let me repeat again.
Okay.
Primary school teachers, junior secondary, that is secondary 1, 2, 3. They have only 1 month outstanding. Where we do have challenge is with senior secondary. And what we have done as a government is this. In December 2020, we paid them 3 months salary as our own way of defraying part of their standing that they have. And we made a commitment that in January, we will at least do the same thing, which is 3 months salary again, until we are able to clear all their outstanding. Now, we had a meeting last week Monday, between the Commissioner of Finance in Abia State, the hardworking Dr. Ahamuko, and in company of the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Dr. Kesike Wangwa, with NUT, where agreements were reached. And
you said last week?
On Monday last week.
Okay, on Monday, all right.
On Monday last week. And expectations were that, I think that meeting held between Sunday and Monday actually.
Is it the NUT at the state level or the national body?
At the state level.
Oh, okay.
And of course, you must know that we've also spoken to or negotiated with the national level and NUT. But expectations were that teachers will go back to classroom that Monday. And we waited for the announcement to be made, and to date, we have not heard the announcement.
Did you reach an agreement?
Yes, there was an agreement. There was an agreement.
That they had to return to classroom today?
Exactly.
All right. So what
is
the problem?
That agreement, in fact, on the basis of that agreement, we expected to read the announcement that they've called off the strike. You will recall that they were already on strike.
Yes.
Fine. But that didn't happen. Let me say this. We want to appeal to our teachers. We believe they have genuine case. Of course, this strike is for those in junior secondary school is probably a solidarity thing, and those in primary school. We want to clear this outstanding.
Okay.
But everybody understands the economy.
Just a moment, Honorable Commissioner. You mentioned that there are outstandings
with secondary, senior secondary in particular, and then 1 month with primary and basic, and junior secondary.
Okay, to confirm, because we usually hear this month, several months, 7 months, 8 months, 5 months. How many months arrears are being owed the secondary school teachers in the state?
Again, stop saying secondary school.
Say senior secondary.
All right.
I will rephrase my question now. How many months are being owed the senior secondary school teachers in the state?
I cannot confirm now, but I know that it is a couple of months, as much as maybe 8-9 months or thereabout. I can't confirm the exact number of months.
Exact. Okay. So, what are the steps taken by the government to ensure that these arrears are paid with immediate effect?
No. There is no immediate effect. We are talking about this is not a military administration. It's a civilian environment. Don't use that language.
Okay.
But let me say this.
What they are saying, I've had a cause to interact with some of them, and what they are saying is that it seems we are not going back to the classroom until government pays with immediate effect. That clause is usually there, and if government doesn't pay,
I didn't know that NUT is now operating within a military environment. But let me say this.
All right.
Everyone in this country is aware that we are currently going through economic crunch. Now, for a government to have done 3 months in December, that speaks to intention. Assuming there is one river called Money River in Abia State where we can go to and fetch money to pay even upfront, clear the arrears and pay them upfront for another 20 years, we would have done that. But the fact still remains that they are not the only segment that we have to care for as a government. Assuming they now have all the most paid to them and there is insecurity in this state, will they go to school? If all the roads are bad, how would they approach schools? If we allow healthcare to collapse totally, what will happen to them within this pandemic period? What I'm saying is that as a government, we need to allocate resources to different sectors of the state economy.
Okay.
And the resources we are talking about is limited. Everyone knows that federal allocation is dwindling because oil prices has gone down globally.
Okay,
globally.
There were my issues. Point is before we get to this point, Honorable Commissioner,
we did not just pay them.
What really happened? What led to them being owed? Before we get to this point of saying we owed them arrears, they should hold on because we have dwindling revenue. What happened? How did we get here?
Thank you very much. You will recall that at some point 2 years ago, we were talking about disarticulation. What were we referring to? For long, the state government was paying teachers in junior and senior secondary, whereas that wasn't the law. The law was very clear that we were not supposed to carry that heavy wage bill, but rather that the junior, secondary, should form part of basic education. So junior secondary and primary should be paid by the local government, while the state government will pay for senior secondary. Do you understand?
I'm getting you.
And now we accumulated some outstanding. What we did was to, as much as possible, clear the outstandings prior to disarticulation. Do you understand? Particularly for those in primary and junior secondary. We still have outstanding with those of them in senior secondary, and we have informed them that we want to clear this outstanding. We've given you 3 months in December. In January, we want to give you another 3 months. I mean, all we are appealing for.
Okay, you've promised another 3 months.
Exactly.
This January.
It was quite clear in the tweet of the governor. The governor directly tweeted on it and said, the following parastatals, I'm going to give you some 2 months, some 3 months. I will repeat it in January. For some of you, all I need is for you to align your BVN and bank information so that we don't pay ghosts.
Okay, now that they've refused to return to the classroom, according to a statement from your office, the government is laying claim that they are being used by political detractors.
What do you want us to think about? You sat down with...
are you saying this is the work of the opposition?
We sat down with union leaders, had a conversation, agreed on reopening of the schools. Everybody shook hands, we were all happy, they left. And then they now came back and said, no, everything we discussed, cancel it. And this morning, people are spreading rumors that we directed, that we said teachers should forfeit the outstanding. That's not true. We didn't ask teachers to forfeit any outstanding. We will never ask them to forfeit earned wages. It is even a matter of law. Once wages are earned, nobody can change that. Now, for you to have rumors swirling around whether to forfeit or not to forfeit, you see political undertone. For you to have an agreement with a union and then suddenly everything changes, then there must be a source hand. Do you understand? So we are saying that they should even elevate themselves beyond partisan politics. We are aware that because we've dealt decisive infrastructure blow on the opposition in Abia State, they have no more talking points.
So you're saying this is the work of the opposition?
So we are saying that we are sensing political undertone because somebody is now going on radio to say that the state government asked them to forfeit the wages, which is not true. Only politicians can come up with such outlandish lies.
Okay, now that the teachers have refused to return to the classroom, what do you intend doing as the government?
What we want to do is to continue to appeal to them, which is why I am here. I am appealing to members of the Nigerian Union of Teachers on behalf of Abia State government to please return to classroom. I also want well-meaning Abians to appeal to them. Let everybody be mindful of the fact that government has shown good faith. We've paid 3 months in December and we are ready to pay another 3 months now. Nobody.
Will the payment continue?
That is what we said.
Beyond the 3 months you're promising this month,
yes.
Will the payment of the arrears continue?
Of course. The intention is to defray the arrears over time. Look, we also must note that government expenditure is tangential to government revenue. Revenue is dwindling nationally. And yet we are managing to do these things at this time, and that should be appreciated. Some states like Kano, they are slashing salaries by 50% at this time. A neighboring oil producing state, aside from owning workers, is also slashing salary. Let me say this: workers in our ministries, departments and agencies, they are 100% on salary payment. We gave money to parastatals that are ailing to support them in December. Some of them 3 months, some 2 months. People must see that this government is genuinely concerned and that we are doing something. And we want to use this opportunity to call on well-meaning Abians to appeal to our wonderful teachers, our great teachers, the pride of Abia State, to go back and teach our school children. Don't let those children remain at home. The reason is that those children are even more exposed to COVID at home.
Honorable Commissioner, how often do you meet with the NUT leadership in Abia State? In one of their releases now, they came out and said the Abia state government has not taken any tangible step aimed at meeting our demands. And that was when the NUT national body came in and said, what we will do, we're giving the government 21-day ultimatum sometimes last year, and they said after the 21-day ultimatum we're proceeding on strike, which led to this strike. Have you been meeting them regularly to throw the books open and let them know the situation, the financial situation of the state?
Mike, the books are open by default. Every month the federal government publishes how much in-state is getting by default. Any labor union leader that wants to know how much the state government is getting can easily log into FAC and see. Newspapers carry it. The facts are available via social media. So by default, the books are open. But having said that, between the time of the ultimatum, I am saying to you that in the month of December 2020, and we are in January, that we pay 3 months. 3 months. I didn't say 1 or 2. I said 3 months. And I'm sure they are not disputing that. And that we made a commitment that in January we will again pay 3 months. I mean, how much more commitment can you show? And I'm also saying to you with regards to meeting, that the meeting was held just last week.
All right, interesting. Now, beyond all these grievances, all the demands by the teachers, I'm so much concerned about COVID-19 protocols. You know the reason, Honorable Commissioner. I sit here every other day to give out protocols and also, of course, to sensitize the public on COVID-19 in the state. Are these schools ready to have the teachers and the pupils and the students back their premises, at the various premises, and of course all COVID-19 protocols observed?
Of course, we did a dry run last year during the examinations, and that was prior to reopening schools. And so far, we didn't receive any single report of infection in our school environment. And we've also done some examinations, and we believe that as long as those measures put in place for the schools are followed, that chances are that our children will be safer in school than at home. Some of those children in public schools, when you leave them at home, they hawk and expose themselves to COVID. Some of them play without supervision because parents will leave home and go to work. They play around their friends and around the neighborhood without supervision. Maybe even somebody that is unwell will invite them to go and buy tom-tom or chewing-gum. And the risk for them naturally should be higher because the school is a controlled environment for them and they are there from morning till late afternoon. And then by the time they return home, parents will now take over supervision. Now that they are at home, by no fault of theirs, we believe that they are more exposed to COVID than when they are in school. And that is one of the reasons we are appealing to our teachers to please consider all the variables. It is not even a matter of you said, I said, government did not say. It is a matter of humanity. It is also a matter of good conscience. This government has shown that they want to solve this problem by paying 3 months arrears in this economy, and also making a commitment to pay another 3 months in January. And quite frankly, if we see that they are not going to come back to classroom, Mike, there are other needs looking for that money that we want to use to pay them.
So you might decide to channel the money to other...
we will be left with no option. We will be left with no option.
That's government talking tough here.
It is not talking tough. It is talking reality. Let me explain this. Every 1 kobo belonging to government has alternative use. If we are going to invest on teachers and they will still be at home and we will still be battling with protecting those children from COVID-19 and at the same time educating them, we might prefer to invest that money in healthcare. We might even prefer to invest that money in feeding those children at home or invest it in direct supervision of those children because they are very important to us.
Interesting.
We cannot as a government at this time
if they keep staying at home, the government will keep incurring more debts.
And I need to also point out that Even the payments we made, like I said to you, that junior, secondary and primary, that we paid them up to November, that includes the period they were at home not teaching. Do you understand me? That is how much we love our teachers. We paid them for the period they were at home. How many private schools were able to pay at that time? And it is beginning to appear as if somebody is not happy that school enrollment has gone up from 150,000 it was in 2015. I mean, public school enrollment from 150,000 to 650,000. Now, because of this strike, it appears as if somebody wants to depopulate public schools and populate private schools. And we are beginning to look at who are the ones that actually own these private schools. Maybe they are the ones encouraging teachers to go on strike at this time, so that children, like you mentioned, that when you were coming, you saw that private schools are open. Mike, would you take your children there? That means somebody wants to depopulate public schools.
I would like us to get reactions on the phone lines. Unfortunately, we tried getting across to the leadership of NUT in Abia State, but that effort proved abortive. Hopefully, they will respond to the government side of the story, and of course, we have a way forward out of this strike.
Michael, when you get across to them, please beg them on behalf of Abia school children, on behalf of the generality of the people of Abia State, appeal to them that the state government is saying that they should return to classroom, and that we will this month again.
They must have grievances, Honorable Commissioner. So I'll bring their grievances.
Mike, if we all look at the grievances we have, if we all look at the grievances we have against one another, we will not associate with ourselves and will not get anything done. Mike, I have grievances against you. You bring opposition people to this radio station to lie against the government. But I'm here sitting down with you, and we are moving forward.
All right, let's go for a break. So
grievances should not stop us from moving forward. We acknowledge their genuine demands, and we are assuring them that as resources become available, we will meet those demands. But that we are not going to shut down Abia State because we want to pay one particular segment. Even them will not like it. It is not even in their interest.
All right, we need to take a break now. When we return, we throw the lines open. Let's get reactions from the phone lines. What do you make of what is happening right now in the education sector in Abia State? And of course, the government is coming out to say, we are sincere. The teachers should go back to school. We are ready to give them 3 months this month and keep paying their arrears. The lines are open, but we take a break now. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business, high-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
All right, thank you very much for staying tuned. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. The lines are very much open now. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. Good morning, Honorable Commissioner of Information.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Wakwe Chidebri. I'm representing from Abia, the LGA.
You're welcome.
I want to join my voice with Commissioner of Information to lead with the teachers. No matter how it is, they should also know that our children have long overstayed at home. Looking at the lockdown, NSAS, and the like, they should please go back to school. I know, in as much as the Honorable Commissioner is there, he has promised, like the governor said, that they will pay extra 2 months. They should please go back to school. Now, about Igbo presidency, I totally agree with Samu Abunwa by saying, let all Igbos come together so that by 2023, we will give it to whosoever the cap fits in Southeast. Thank you.
Thank you for making it brief. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Mike.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I want to take up the Honorable Commissioner for Information.
Please do that. But what's your name?
Before I come to react on
yes, what your name?
Abunwa's aspiration.
Your name?
You see, the issue of teachers is very, very, sensitive. The issue of payment of salaries to primary school teachers and junior secondary school teachers, quite another. But I want to let you know that the payment they make does not commensurate with the level. You can imagine somebody on level 15 receiving salary of level 10. What type of salary payment is that? And these things needs to be addressed and corrected. Hello, are you hearing me?
We're getting you. The Honorable Commissioner is listening.
Yeah, now the issue of even the teachers' leave allowances are not being paid, and so many other things like that. So this issue is something the state government has to look into and address.
All right.
Primary school teachers are really suffering. Junior secondary school teachers are really suffering. The senior secondary school teachers are suffering. Oh, so many months of arrears. They pay salaries that does not commensurate with the level.
All right.
Somebody on level 15 receiving a level 10 salary. Is it fair?
All right, Honorable Commissioner, I would like you to address that discrepancies in the payment of the salary. Although he didn't mention his name, though, to be sure if he's a teacher and to be sure the angle is coming from. So let's get your reaction to that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I should think that these are the issues that can be presented and reviewed.
Okay.
In the joint negotiation team.
Yeah, okay.
And you see, there are two things. One is, have they been paid? And he has acknowledged that we have paid these primary school teachers and junior secondary school teachers up to November, and we are owing 1 month. He also said what we are saying, which is we have challenge with secondary school teachers, and that we paid them 3 months. Now, if there are other issues like leave allowances, nobody will not want to pay.
Okay,
we want to pay, but
he mentioned discrepancies in payment, like person on level 15 not getting level 15
it is
salary.
not a straightforward statement.
Okay.
Let me say this. When you say somebody on level 15 receiving salary of level 10, what were the components of deductions made, if any? That is why it's something they need to sit down and discuss. But it is not enough reason to stop teaching our children. If that is the problem, it can easily be resolved. Because there are deductions that are made from time to time. Some of them are union dues. Some of them are other statutory deductions. If somebody is not paying them what is supposed to be paid, then the governor will make interventions in that regard.
All right.
I'm very sure of that.
Let's get more reactions. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good morning, Michael.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Commissioner for Information. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I remember Mr. Prince Osuagu from here in Omonachogo.
All right. Welcome.
Honorable Commissioner, I'm very, very happy on the statement. That is the expression he made. That he said students are being prone to COVID-19 when they are at home, rather than when they are in school. I quite believe that, and I'm urging the federal government, let them slow their thoughts, because I know that they have every power to close every school under the exclusive list of education. But they should equally remember that education is under the concurrent list. Every state has powers to reopen their schools, in as much as they maintain precautionary measures. I would have allowed the federal government to allow states to open their schools. Then finally, on the issue of Igbo presidency of Igbo extraction, I don't believe Ohabonwa. Why am I telling you this? Ohabonwa is likely to tell us that Igbo is there. For him to have come out, I know that we under the electoral act, we haven't had independent candidates, but now he's trying to come out without any party. My question is this: the Igbo man coming out for presidency, on which platform are they coming out? Since the inception of Nigeria, Igbo man has no party. I'm sorry to tell you this on the stadium. Because we don't have a particular party. Igbo man will be on APC, will be in PBT, will be on that. We don't have a regular party.
All right, quickly wrap up a thought, Prince.
Which one will use to fight for the president? That's my thing. God bless.
Thank you very much for your take. Let's go straight to the SMS line since we have... All right, good morning. This one says from Ben says, if government were able to owe teachers for over 10 months while roads are being built, why won't government pay attention to salary and pension for 6 months? A lack of payment of salary and pension affect both traders and businessmen and women, just like road and other infrastructure. That's coming from Ben. I didn't get the question. I don't know if you.
That is exactly why we are paying teachers, we are paying other workers. Our workers in the ministries, departments and agencies, they are 100% up to date. We are not owing them. We are paying new minimum wage. We've been paying new minimum wage since January 2020. And we understand the interlinkages. That's why we pay 3 months. If the 3 months are spent in our market, for instance, I'm sure that it will have positive effect on area traders and other traders. And we are again saying that we will also pay another 3 months.
All right.
And continue to do that until we are able to clear all the areas.
We're appealing. Actually, my personal appeal. Now, maybe you sit them down. Let's talk the differences again. So that they can return to classroom, hopefully tomorrow or next.
Our doors are open. If they want a meeting right now, the Commissioner for Finance is sitting in his office. They have been speaking with the Commissioner for Education, who also is a teacher. Our doors are open.
All right.
They are very important to us. They are very key to the development of this state. Education is one of the pillars of this administration. Please, teachers, if you are listening to me, I am appealing to you in the name of everything you believe in. Return back to classrooms immediately.
All right. Honorable Commissioner, our time is fast spent. Top of the hour is Abia State COVID-19 update. Thank you very much. Many thanks to the producer, Samson Eze, and also the guys behind the visuals you're seeing on our Facebook page, Solomon and Stanley. My name is Michael Oni.